First aid is the one thing that I see day hikers and backpackers both neglect, probably more so than anything. So today we're going to go through and look at this sub 1 pound day hiker's first aid kit. So our pack that we're using here, this is the Maxpedition H1 waist pack. I kept looking for something that was easy enough to kind of fit onto my belt, was big enough to contain everything that I needed, but also then not so bulky that it was really bothering me when we're out and about moving around. And this one seemed to fit the bill. We can pick these things up on Amazon or on their website. Honestly, they're usually about $42, $43. I wait until Maxpedition does the buy one get one free promotional sales that they do every few months, and that's when I pick these pouches up. Now, one thing you're not going to see in here is going to be one of my tools, and this is because it's always going to be in my pocket. I carry usually a couple different variations of these Swiss Army knives, and it kind of just depends on the outing as to what I'm carrying. This one, nice good blade up front. The item that gets used more often than anything on here are the actual scissors. And then I also know that we've got the pair of pretty sharp tweezers over here. These come in handy as well. So keep in mind that this is in addition to this. All right, so let's just take a quick peek at our content here. So this bag actually has a little slide-in pouch on the side, and I keep one thing over on this side, and it's just an IV flush. It's just sodium chloride, and this is mostly in my head for like cleaning out wounds and things like that. And on the other side, we actually have a Velcro pouch on here, and this has got a handful of things in here, and it's stuff that I usually try to have ready access to. There's a chem light on here just in case I need a little extra lighting, and then there's a marker in case I need to write stuff down. And then I also keep my tourniquet over here, and sometimes I'll swap out between, like a North American Rescue. And this one I actually am playing around with. I just picked this thing up the other day. This is by Snake Staff. This is one of their tourniquets that kind of like the locking mechanism on here. I'll probably try to do a video about this one later. I know. All right, so the bulk of our content's going to be under this big Velcro flap here. And we'll just go straight into the big bucket here because this is probably where the bulk of our stuff is going to sit and reside. So in here I've got some fresh contacts. I'm going to actually, just kidding, these aren't really contacts, but I'm going to come back to those in a minute. So have a thermal blanket in here. Always keep at least one extra thing of electrolytes if need be. I have some compressed gauze. I like this better than the rolled stuff for little packages like this just because it is so compact. So this is 4 yards of stretch gauze, and it's just from North American Rescue. I have an A-strap in here, the ones with the Velcro instead of the metal cleats on there. I hate the ones with metal cleats because if you lose them, they're just a pain in the rear to use. And then I've also got some Quick Clot in here. If I were going to double up and carry a lot of extra stuff, it would actually be more gauze, more A-strap, but I would rapidly need something a little bit larger than this container to do it because these two items are probably some of the most versatile ones that you can pop into your first aid kit. So if you're going to carry redundancy on stuff, A-strap and gauze. Now I told you guys I would come back to this little contact lens holder. All this is I was looking for a way to carry just a handful of meds, and this isn't the only meds I have. This was just the only loose stuff that I had. So on one side I've got Benadryl over here, and then on the other side it's just some acetaminophen. These things are really snug. Yeah, so you can see it's a couple doses in there. Again, this is for day hiking. I'm probably not going to be out for extended amounts of time unless I get lost or get injured or something, but so a little bit of both of these, and you'll see some more meds here in just a few minutes. So now moving into this front little pouch up here, a couple little small things in here. I keep one blister strip of individual eye drops in here. I usually get these in bulk, and usually get a box of these things, and it comes with I think 10 or 20 of these blister strips in there. You never know when you're going to get debris and stuff in your eyes, and rather than have to go in there and try to start poking around with my most likely dirty fingers, at least I've got some eye drops I can work with here. Always keep at least one of these Picardin bug repellent things in here. Got some sunblock in here, individual single dosing, and then a little bit of chapstick, a little lip balm in here. Keep my lips all supple. And then inside here I've got just a couple pair of gloves that I just kind of keep pushed up inside there to make them nice and readily accessible. So that covers a lot of what's on the inside, and then we've got this one other little pouch on the outside here. And this is going to be sort of a catch-all. More meds. This is just Pepto. Don't want the sick belly while we're out there. A couple little Band-Aids on here. We have a really derogatory term for Band-Aids at my house, mostly just so we can make fun of each other for using Band-Aids. So what else we got in here? We got some alcohol wipes. There should be some triple antibiotic ointment down in here. Yep, there's some triples. There's some Aquatabs in here in case we need to start making water a little safer, a little cleaner to drink. I think this is another alcohol pad. Yep. And that is all that is inside here as well. Now, one thing I know that you noticed was not inside here is really medical tape. And that's because on my trekking poles, I always keep usually about 2 feet of actual Luca tape on here. So for blister prevention or just wrapping something up, like maybe I want to finish off some of those A-straps. Also a little bit of duct tape on here as well, but kind of usually leave this stuff on here. I like it out here on the pole because if I have to stop and treat something, I know it's right here and it's easily accessible. So you guys will notice this is not some trauma blowout kit. It's just going to cover a lot of the basics, just real general first aid. Like I said, it's not a trauma kit. Probably the most elaborate thing we've got in here is a tourniquet, and I go back and forth. I'm probably going to swap that one back out for just a normal North American Rescue, and just sort of flirting around with that one as far as the way it fits in pockets. I like the thin footprint of it, but all in all, anybody can carry this thing. Like I said, I just thread this through my belt loop over here, and it sort of rides off my left hip, and it's kind of no excuse for not carrying some kind of first aid with you while you're out on the trail. All right, guys, is this the perfect first aid kit? Absolutely not. I'm sure there's improvements in there. I'm actually looking forward to hearing what you guys have got to say about it. But having said that, it's going to be far better than going out onto the trail without something, which I see happening far too often. And I do highly advocate assembling your own first aid kit as opposed to going out to one of the big box stores and just buying a pre-made kit. Very often those things they're really focused on the piece count, so you usually end up with about 75% of the contents being Band-Aids, most of which won't stick as soon as you get if it's damp. And so they're kind of useless. So there are a few good kits out there. I just really prefer to assemble my own, that I know exactly what's in it and I know the quality of the stuff that I put in there. Now, on that subject of the pre-built kit, I did a quick poll on the channel over the last about 24, 36 hours, somewhere in that neighborhood, and I'm very pleased to see that the vast majority of you guys out there, at least the ones who've responded back, they are taking kits that they've made themselves, about 65%. Now, the 20% of you that say I'm not taking a kit because nothing is going to happen, I'm worried about you guys. And then we had about another 15% of the people that were taking a pre-built kit out there, which is better than nothing. But definitely be sure that you are comfortable with the tools and the stuff that's in there. Because a kit it's always going to be one of those things that, stuff expires, we need to stay up on. Sometimes with those pre-built kits, people get sucked into the, well, I've got it, I've never needed it, so I know everything is good in there, everything's there, but then you pull it out and stuff's been expired. Especially stuff like the alcohol pads, like those things will dry out quickly, and then Band-Aids will kind of lose their sticky to it, and you feel like you figure out that you've got some subpar stuff in there. Okay, guys, I know this was a really quick video. I just really wanted to kind of show you guys there's not much of an excuse for not taking something with you every time you go out into the woods, because it's one of those things where I would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it and have to kind of improvise. Now, obviously, along with this, I do carry, anytime I'm out there, I'm carrying an emergency beacon with me, because that's going to be the easiest way for me to get real help if I need something substantive. But outside of that, this is usually kind of what I'm rocking if I go out there. As always, hopefully you guys found some benefit out of this, and if you're out on the trail watching this right now, just remember, left foot, right foot, repeat. We'll see you out there soon.